Okay. Some may say vaccines can be the cause or lead to autism. However, the Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention will say otherwise. Some may also say vaccines are inefficient or ineffective against uh, viruses like the flu and stuff. However, do not or vaccinate your family will also say otherwise. And you may have also heard that vaccines can be expensive or be too much for your financial resources, but vaccinate oh, vaccinate.gov will say how much money you actually can save if you vaccinate your children and yourself. Today we'll be covering the cold hard facts of why you should vaccinate yourself and your loved ones. It all started in 1988 when Dr. Andrew Wakefield, a British doctor, started the myth that vaccines can cause autism. His science behind it was the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, is associated or linked with autism in some sorts of ways. However, this has been proven false, and in fact, no other doctors have backed him up or went along with it. To make things even worse, he wasn't in it for the kids or the research purposes. He had incentives for money behind it. He was paid by multiple lawyers making lawsuits against vaccines to do so. So therefore, he was never even in it for the right reason, and it was never a credible source to get from him. He has went as far to make a movie about how vaccines are so bad and they can lead to autism. And he has also made the claim that vaccines are higher in the African American children community when vaccinated as a child, and they're more likely to lead to getting autism. As insane as that sounds, you can believe how crazy this guy is and how much of a myth this really was. Next, people may say vaccines do little to nothing against deadly viruses or deadly diseases. But thanks to the vaccine, there are many diseases that you may have forgot about. 4 out of the 14 include chickenpox, polio, hepatitis A, and hepatitis B. Now, you may not remember them, or they might be old to you because we have now vaccinated all of our future generations and our children thus far. Now, as you can see here in the graph, in the 1990s, there were over 12 million deaths due to these deadly diseases out of these 14 that the vaccines would cover. This is when the vaccines were not as popular and not as technological advanced. Now in 2017, it has dropped to nearly 50% and has about 5 to 5.5 million deaths in 2017. Not only do vaccines save your life and prevent other diseases, but they can also save your life. Next, we're moving on to what vaccines can do for you financially. Vaccines can actually save you money. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, how do they save you money if you're paying for a vaccine? Well, let's start off with this. Vaccines and the direct cost for our future children will save over $200 billion to prevent the disease today rather than curing them tomorrow. And we all know those pesky sick days that we get. Well, those definitely add up. There is a total of $1.48 trillion lost in minimum productivity and loss in wages. And also, there may be a lack of information out there for you, and you may not know how to get a vaccine. Well, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has a whole webpage of how to do it and where to do it at. Now that we have covered what vaccines can do for you financially, for your health, and all the myths and false beliefs and negative activity surrounding vaccines, you should go out and get yourself vaccinated for your children and your loved ones. And past all these is a low price and healthy world to live in.